Alright, we are getting into it. A review on both Blender and Tahoma2D. So, what I got for you is these two, in relation to 2D animation, are very, very convenient. I've very rarely encountered bugs with them. I have encountered some glitches, but we'll get into that in the video. Blender for 2D is intuitive. You can just get straight into the editor. It doesn't have a paywall or anything like that. Tahoma doesn't have a paywall either. They're both free. But Blender you can get from the Steam store and then install on your computer. The Steam video game store, I mean. You can get for free on there, download it through Steam. I downloaded it through Steam, I don't know why. I think you can get Blender from other sources, but I got it from Steam. So, with Blender, I was able to intuitively learn the frames, the animation, and the color wheel. I found the color wheel of Blender to be not as intuitive as it could have been. I found better use without a Tahoma. But Blender is how I started to learn animation on 2D. And what I'm finding is that Blender is good to get your foot through the door. I made a couple of films with Blender, and they were not that bad in terms of quality, but I didn't feel the best animating with Blender. I don't know how to put my finger on it. There was something about Blender that I didn't feel good to animate with. When I resolved that with Tahoma, I went to Tahoma2D, and I found the image process much smoother. I don't have my put my finger on it. Tahoma2D was a lot smoother to animate with. The color wheel made the most sense. I can use color filters, and the color gradients would work better. And I could find the frames easier. The frames were easier to find and not have to scroll past over and over between each frame and have to get lost in the process. There was a bug with Tahoma where it forgot that there was a 2D panel, and I had to reset the computer to reinstall it. But other than that, Tahoma's pretty great. Blender's only issue was that it wasn't as convenient. It didn't feel good to use sometimes. I don't know how to explain it. But Tahoma felt good to use. It looked clean. Its user interface is one of the strongest things about Tahoma. I'd say if you're starting out, do Blender. And if you want to expand further into animation, don't go straight to OpenToons. Go to Tahoma2D and learn from them, because Tahoma's going to use a little bit of what OpenToons is made for anyways. Even though Ghibli Studios will use them, Tahoma will expand on that further as a fork of OpenToons. But that's just my idea. Again, use Blender to expand. No, use Blender to start off using animation to get your foot through the door, and then start using Tahoma to expand further on what you can do with animation and feel better about the free tools you have before you have to start paying for them eventually. But Tahoma is a good place to learn, even for free as a freemium, than even if you had to pay for certain other animation sources. I would not pay for animation on 2D or stop motion if I could help it. Like with claymation, my thing with claymation was like I had to pay for the modeling clay and this Dragon Frame or Stop Motion Pro Clip software. But with 2D, I'm able to use the software for free and draw on the wheel with my mouse, or even with, not with a tablet yet or with a drawing pen, but with the mouse I have on hand, the HP Office mouse. This is still pretty useful, but I'll use a gaming mouse to do my drawings on 2D. I don't do 2D animation with a gaming mouse. That'd be just crazy. Not just because of this bugging lately on the other mouses I have, but it's just not intuitive for me to draw like that. So I draw with the Office mouse.